Okay, I'm here with the Queen of Green herself, author, superstar chef to the superstars, reality TV superstar, Lauren Vanderpool. You recently catered the fucking Met Gala. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh, Ben, thank you for having me. I absolutely adore you. I love you. And there's nothing more I'd rather do right now.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I ever since we first met at that fateful day in Costa Rica, at that fabulous resort, I remember what you were wearing the first time I saw you.
What was I wearing?
You were like wearing this like flowy yellow and gold, like total magical whatever it was. And you were like straight out of like the yellow realm. It was like you were like a music video goddess right out of like the solar plexus dimension or something.
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah, I remember like, wow, I was like, who is this superstar that's on our retreat? Because it was on a retreat that I was the guest speaker at. And what did we do that week? I can't remember. There was like some big activity. What was it?
There was a lot of activities that week. The one that I remember the most was us in ceremony. And, obviously, we keep we're not supposed to be chit-chatting and talking. And this was the night, it's my birthday at this point. It's midnight and we're there, we're just looking at the stars.
It's the night of your birthday.
It's the night of my birthday. Like,
yeah,
my birthday would be that next day, but we brought in my birthday during the ayahuasca, during the ceremony. And I just remember us being out there, me, you, and your cousin, and we were singing and just talking and laughing, but I think we might have got a little out of hand with the songs.
Yeah, I remember we were singing. It was like one of those songs where the end of the song is echoing. So picture this, everybody. We're in Costa Rica, in the jungle, under the stars, experiencing like our third ayahuasca ceremony of the week, right?
Yeah.
Like we've been in classes together, we've been in yoga together, we've been on this like super clean diet all week. We're in heaven, we're getting massages, laying out by the pool, unloading our psychic and spiritual baggage, like calling in divine communion. It's like a whole spiritual experience. And so this night we're all bonded. Darcy's birthday is next week. Lauren's birthday is tomorrow. We're like 3 cups into ayahuasca. It's dark. There's chanting. There's drumming. There's sage and copal everywhere. There's people puking and screaming and crying and laughing and orgasming. And we're wearing all white. I believe, right? Weren't you in like a white dress that night?
Yeah,
or white,
absolutely.
white skirt and top? Yeah, and we were out under the stars and in the moonlight. And there was one of those songs where the last few lyrics kind of repeat for a while. And we
just kept repeating.
Yeah, we took it past the song ending. And so at Rhythmia, which I am going back there in October 9th, everyone's invited. I'm going back there. I'll put it in the show notes. But
yes.
Highly recommend it. It's amazing.
So good. My favorite.
You'll have a moment like we did, like this one. But I remember knowing that they were scaling the music back. That song had ended, and now it was basically quiet time. Like there's like phases of the ceremony, and there's a time when they take all the music out, and most people have already purged. Most people have hit all these different, heights in their ceremony. Some people are getting a 4th cup. It's right there toward the end of everything. And I remember knowing that that's what was about to happen, but we just kept singing. And they like came outside and they had to kind of be like, oh, Okay,
I
guys.
think we were giving harmony, okay? We weren't just singing.
No, exactly.
Three-part harmony.
Three-part harmony. We knew what we were doing. These are three trained vocalists who were singing in range
Yeah.
on ayahuasca. Okay, this was supernaturally angelic music. Okay,
It really was. But they were like, "You're gonna have to be quiet now."
yeah, I was like, and I'm the guest speaker, and I'm
I
like,
know.
I'm staying there with you guys. And I'm like,
That was so much fun. Yeah, that's what I remember. That was like one of the memorable times. And then, of course, you teaching your class. And, everyone knows that smile can light up a room. Okay. You just have the smile of life. It's just pure
that's
sunshine.
exactly how I feel with you. That's exactly how I feel with you. I'm like, I just want to smile just to get a smile back here.
No, seriously, I just felt your energy. I remember seeing you initially, and I was like, "Oh, he is so cute," and I was like, just the vibe, and we just chatted, and we're just talking, and it was easy,
Yeah.
it was just very easy. And then Darcy, rock star, love her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need a reunion with her. I really
Yeah.
wish we could see each other.
Okay, at some point, you, me, Darcy, and Saw,
Slumber party.
we need like a hot tub slumber party at the house.
Yes.
Yes.
You let me know. I actually come back. I'm catering a celebrity golf tournament on the 14th and 15th of August. Will you be?
Are you just always on tour, like leading these fabulous celebrity events and like feeding them gorgeous food? Is that like what your life looks like?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, honestly, between catering and for a lot of my clients, they just meet me in the jungle because I've kind of decided that I no longer really want to live in the world, so to speak, in like major cities and stuff like that. It doesn't feel good. I'm been back in LA for maybe 10 days. I moved 6 months ago, right after I went to Rhythmia in January. And from there, I've just been gone from LA. And being back reminds me why I've chosen to move to South America. I live in South America, Colombia right now.
Amazing.
Why I chose to move and to just immerse myself in nature, just like really get into my practices. You know what I mean? Really just get the hug from the trees that I need.
Yeah.
But what's great about being here is that I get to connect with some of the most amazing people. Some of my friends. I mean, obviously, we might not be able to see each other this go round, but yeah, I like to fly in for gigs for health and anything health and wellness. But yeah, my clients are like, "Can you do the golf tournament?" Or, "Hey, can you cater the Met Gala?" Or, "Hey, can you cater this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll fly in for that. I'll leave the
Okay,
jungle."
so just so everyone knows, I did see Anna Wintour smile at you on the Met Gala.
What
I
is
witnessed it. Okay?
What's
And
so funny is everyone keeps saying like she doesn't smile.
yeah.
That's so funny because that wasn't my first time meeting her. I met her when I was working with Serena and Venus Williams. And we sat next to each other at the US Open. But I didn't know who she was because I don't know who any important people are. I've seen her. I knew the look, but I didn't know her name. Right. I know the name Anna Wintour, but I didn't associate the two people. Right. So she sits next to me and I'm there and, we're in the players box. So I'm just like, "Hey girl, how are you? We're I kept it very normal because I don't even know who you are. You came in.
Of course. Just, yeah.
And so anyway, fast forward, I get an email from Anna herself inviting me or asking me, would I cater the Met Gala for just this is all we have. This is all we can do it for. I'm like, oh, Anna, darling, don't you worry. We can handle that, darling. We'll take it, you know?
Oh, I
But
love
yeah,
that.
yeah, like at the Met Gala, to meet her in a different arena, you
Mhm.
know, and not just you're saying this, but a lot of my friends who are celebrities, they have told me, they're like, they've actually said, I don't like her because I remember, you know, they'll tell these stories. One of them said, I stood in line to meet her and she like gave me a handshake, like just like a touch, like bye.
Oh.
Good day.
Well, you know as well as I do, the the more you're in the public eye, the more people are going to need and want things from you, and have like a narrative of what they should or shouldn't be experiencing from you, and
Yeah,
it's so made up,
it
So
is.
it's like I try to never have like a preconceived judgment about a public figure, you know after
Yeah.
working in celebrity PR before. Now I work with celebrity clients, in like energy healing, meditation coaching, but before, when I was doing celebrity PR and I was working with them in the PR capacity, it gets so clear how many people are in on the public image of like what people are portrayed as, that you're just like, you lose real quick this idea that you can like judge a book by its character, or its cover,
Absolutely. You know, I try my best too because, you know, it's not fair. People say things about me that are absolutely so far from the truth.
Right.
But like, what am I gonna do? I don't, I'm not interested in stressing myself out to the point just to try to clarify, like, hey guys, no, or like, hey, like me this way, or
Right.
fame can be very dangerous, and it's something that most of us long for, including myself, but we don't always take into consideration the things that come along with it. And one of the lessons that I learned, or like the downloads that I got when I've done medicine, is to just be very mindful of, even though we're walking through these realms, we have to remember who we are and why we came, right? And so we get to have fun, we get to play.
Remember why you came here.
Oh my God.
Remember that song?
Yes.
Remember your life is sacred.
Ooh, listen
Remember
to your voice.
that? Remember that
Honey.
one? That's a medicine song.
Yeah, I know. But you might be a octave lower than I.
Or two or three or four lower than that very beautiful soprano who sings it. Yeah.
But yeah,
So it may have been flat on 2/3 of those notes, but regardless, beautiful song. Yeah, and it is that remembering of like our actual nature. And the thing is, like you mentioned, I feel like so many of us we're born in this world. We want to be successful. We want to be seen. We're drawn to the public expression and the performance arts and all of that. And it's like, we're not allowed to want to do that for some reason. It's like perceived as like selfish or something like that, or like not a valuable pursuit. But something that's been coming through for me around it, because it's like, why do I simultaneously want total anonymity? There's a part of me that loves, and I don't know my name, don't even know what I look like, don't even think about me, don't even look at images of me, don't even know I exist. There's a part of me that fully wants that and embraces the monk in a cave energy, like going into the medicine, going into the practice, going into it. But when I go there, something happens, and a blossoming forth comes through me, and then I can't help but just love to go out there and talk and dance and be with people, and so I've been feeling like there's literally a divine calling on some people's hearts to be an expression in the world, to be seen in these different ways.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you. And you and I believe we're two of those people, right? You, just off of our presence is medicine. You don't have to say a word. You can walk into the room and you can just be, and your presence is exuding this love, this light, this joy, this nurturing, right? Your smile opens people up and gives them permission to find their own joy and their own happiness. It's really beautiful. So you're right.
That's so you, girl. That's you. It's charisma. It's magnetism. No, you. I know you are, but what am I? You.
No, I mean it. I mean it. That's what I received from you. And a lot of times what happens is, as medicine men and women, or people just on the path of consciousness, a lot of people just attach us to our role, like, oh, you are a meditation guide, and but beyond that, the healing is you. You don't have to do a thing. You don't even have to teach a class. People will receive this medicine if they're open to it, because it's exuding out of you, just your smile, your joy. It does something to the energy field. It does something to the molecular structure. We know that we're mostly water, right? We're water beings, right? And so our water is responding to not only sound frequencies, thoughts, words, feelings. We're constantly communicating. And so, yeah, you come in and you raise the frequency in any room you're in. And I've seen it. So don't try to do me.
It's real, recognize real right now. That's what it is.
True.
I saw you there and I was like, yes. And you know what? I will say this about Rhythmia, for all the scandal that they're always under, anything meaningful, anything that's a breakthrough, anything that's world changing will have scandal. Nobody's perfect, no organization's perfect. But what I will say is, everything that I've experienced at Rhythmia, they've done right by me. They've always done right by me. They take good care of the people. Yeah.
I mean, really. And I can't say enough about Jerry. What a sweetheart of a guy. And I know he is under like a lot of scrutiny right now. And, like you said, it comes with the territory. I know him. We know him personally.
Right.
Like you said, no one's perfect. And he has made it clear to everyone that he's not perfect. Yeah. Right. But how about the striving that, acknowledge people's strides? Like, how people just, I'm really baffled by this whole thing, because I'm like, you see a man who just maybe under a decade ago was in a completely different place, and you're not seeing the growth. You would rather bring him down, right?
So what we're really talking about here is that Vice came out with an article that was like really scandalous about Rhythmia, with all kinds of stuff in it, and we had heard that this was coming through, and I read most of it, but
it was long, wasn't it? I said, well,
it was long, but the problem for me really was that I've been to Rhythmia a dozen times. Mm-hmm. I've taken large groups to Rhythmia, and been a part of a lot of people's experience at Rhythmia. And every week there's a large group. And Jerry has always been very upfront. Every single week, he systematically tells people, I have a history with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And he shares his story in detail, as you know. And I have seen huge changes and huge attempts at doing the right thing. He made a huge transformation from that life that got him to share Rhythmia, to open this healing center. And even since that big healing, I've seen more healing. So I know this is a person who's trying, this is a person who's healing. I don't know specific details, but I know that that I perceive the attacks on this place as more of attacks on this whole movement and this idea becoming available for people.
Yes. Yes, because I mean, I mean, there is so much healing happening. I have healed, and I'm just one person, right? But I have healed exponentially, and I give so much thanks to Jerry and to the facilitators at Rhythmia. It, even you know, my godfather Michael Beck, with all of the people who are a part of that community. And literally, if you ever go, the staff is the sweetest staff that you will
Yeah.
literally ever meet. I mean, I cry every single time I leave because of how they cover me in love.
Yes.
They lift me in love. They just, it's you'd have to go to see it. You can hear all the propaganda, all of the stuff that people are talking about, but one thing about me is I'm a tough cookie, right? And so I'm going to keep it real
Yeah.
with at all times. If it's not up to par, honey, it's not up to par.
Yeah.
It is the heart, the love, it's literally the best.
I
And
love
the
it.
massage therapist, I mean,
Oh yeah, the massage therapists, those are healers.
I mean, unreal. Oh, I mean,
Look,
seriously.
that whole place, look, Rhythmia really is my home away from home. And that's the only place that I've had a consistent annual residency. It's the only place I do ayahuasca, plant medicine. It's the only place I recommend for it. And you know, things aren't perfect, and people need to be held accountable when things go wrong in all different kinds of ways. But at risk of being, you know, kind of scandalous right now, people often do, especially in those kinds of spaces where you're working together and there's a lot happening. We often do create our experiences. You know, this is a place where there's a lot of volunteers, a lot of people who are choosing to be there, to contribute for free. You know, a lot of people are there volunteering because of, you know, the benefits that they've received there and all that. And when you enter into that space, you're in a deep healing space. Things become really, really sensitive. And they're doing something really unusual in the medicine space, which is also trying to run a functioning business while also facilitating all of this very deep healing.
And honestly, I think they've done a great job. I love Jerry's like structure, right? It's essential because oftentimes in the conscious community, and I'm sure you've seen it, what happens is if we're grassroots, oftentimes there's like structural problems, right? It can be like a little janky sometimes, you know, and you don't get that here. There is none of that. You know, it's not the most luxurious place, but it's not like your average place where you go do the ayahuasca, right? It's very nice, very
clean.
Very clean, it's gorgeous, it's stunning. But I appreciate that level of structure that is usually missing. You know, because you know, when you get into spirituality and all of that, we're using a whole other side of our brain. So you need the balance of the right and the left side. You can't have one without the other.
The
You
yin
know?
and the yang, yeah.
Yeah.
And that structure, I really do believe, is like divinely inspired. It's like the skeleton for the body to be built around. It's like the divine masculine that holds space for the medicine to work, for the divine feminine.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just always feel so safe and protected and loved there. And you know, Rhythmia has definitely changed my life and so many other people. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about Jerry and the entire staff. I've never had a bad experience with anyone over there. So that's just me. And like I said, we met there.
Yeah.
And we were like mischievous, like I felt like we were being little mischievous kids at the at the last day. But it's okay. There's freedom that like people understand. It's all love at the end of the day.
I remember being at breakfast, people were like, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful, you guys singing. And we were like, oh, us? Who, us?
We're doing autograph signings a bit later if you'd like to come through.
Yeah, come to our show next week. Yeah. Find us on Spotify. Yeah.
Oh my.
It was just really, really magical. And they hold that space. Look, it can, it's not the cheapest place to go. It's, there's lots of things that people can say, but that I'm seeing like in these few critical articles, especially that one we mentioned, but the dozens and hundreds of positive reviews and positive responses and videos and conversations and everything with people. Like, I hope that people who should go and experience it are not deterred by tabloid media energy.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to
Yeah.
give the real, and I always believe in divine order, right? And so it's all going to work out
Always.
smoothly, always and in all ways, right?
Always and in all ways. So it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so when you are not going around catering events like the Met Gala and like celebrity golf tournaments, you're obviously working really closely with like the food and nutrition and holistic well-being of like some major athletes.
Yeah, you know what? I decided that I didn't want to do the personal chef thing anymore. What I do is I have my chefs go out and they service my clients, right? So I
There we
don't.
go. That's efficiency.
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing it. First of all, I started my business at 16 years old, right? And so I've been doing
So
this
you're
for,
what, 19 now?
I'm 21.
Wow.
Yes, darling,
Yeah.
and um it was always so much fun and so exciting to be, work and travel with these, some of my I wouldn't call them idols, but my biggest inspirations, Serena and Venus Williams, Stevie Wonder, Michelle Obama, there was just so many people that I've had the pleasure of working with. Um, but as life goes on, I mean, we grow, right? And I just decided I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I'm a writer. I have 4 published books that I
Uh-huh.
published myself through my own publishing company. I have other things to do and to express creatively. And really, I don't have, I'm at a point where I just want to live. Like, why do I why have I been programmed to believe that I have to just be spinning my wheels every second? You know what
Right.
I mean? That's not the life I want to live. I want to be able to enjoy myself, to still work, but not waking up every day thinking about what I have to make for someone's breakfast.
Right.
It's okay to do it every
Well,
now and again, but like not every day.
yeah, totally. Well, Meg Pearson, Chef Meg from Rhythmia.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
so she and I recently had a podcast episode, and the title is From Maiden to Mother. And she
Mm.
talks about the life transition of, actually her journey becoming a mother. And that's like the similar energy that I'm hearing from you now, where it's like at one point you were directly servicing these major VIP global celebrities. And when you're talking about food with athletes, like that's mega elite that you're working with, and Michelle Obama, like these are literally the highest tier people in the entire world that you could be having this like very exciting life, being very close in on the daily basis, getting in on every single meal. But and which you kind of spent some time enjoying that part of the journey. But now there's like a motherly transition in your career, where now, which has been there a while, because you've done a lot of training of other people, you've done a lot of training of younger people in cooking
Oh yeah,
and
I have a nonprofit, and we've done a lot of programs. We've done my 6-week summer youth employment culinary program. So
that
um,
one's amazing.
the last one was 200 youth between the ages of 14 and 21. They get paid to be in my program.
Wow.
And it's full culinary arts, agricultural awareness, living from vision, which is how to create the life you want using your mind, your words, your feelings, we have financial literacy, all of that is written in the curriculum. So that's something that the youth love, like literally, and we've done it from Washington, D.C., Chicago. We've done clean water projects in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. So yeah, working with youth is like a major, fave of mine.
Yes.
Um, absolutely.
And
And
so I love seeing that in this other part where you are still blessing and influencing with your wisdom these high-end clientele, and therefore, preparing them for whatever they're offering the world, uh, through your team.
it is a blessing. I have fun with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really incredible, to go to the Olympics and to win Wimbledon or win the Oscars, or all of those things are very exciting. I realize that I'm more focused on a global reach at this point. I've been working globally, but
Yes.
more expansive, with it, and connecting with more beautiful people like yourself, so that you know what I have can touch more people. You know what I mean? And it's just the deliciousness of love and joy and care and beautiful food and understanding the healing that is in food, and just understanding food as medicine in general, and things like the breath and how all of it's connected. It's not to compartmentalize health, but it's to understand it from a holistic standpoint. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what we do, individually and collectively.
Okay, so you travel a lot. How do you manage this might be a bad question because you're so deeply immersed in your food magic that so much of it is second nature, I imagine. Like for me, when I travel, it's hard for me to like stick to like my macro balances and get all the nutrients I need and everything. What are your travel tips for nutrition?
Um, well, I travel with my own apothecary, so I have all my herbs with me. My burdock roots, my dandelion, things for parasites. I just look at all of the organs, right? So what do I need to fortify my organs if I'm depleted, if just parasites or whatever it is, because I'm traveling to foreign places. So I always travel with my apothecary, ton of herbs, and really, um, I I find the local farmers markets immediately.
Mhm.
Uh, I go and connect with like the medicine men, medicine women, find out what medicine is local
Right.
to that environment, and I play, But yeah, pretty much it can be tough depending on where I am, and all of there's other little variables that can come into place, but for the most part I have a rhythm, and my rhythm is I wake up for sunrise wherever I am. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time zone. I'm always going to wake up for sunrise. And
Yes.
from there, that, you know, my meditation, my workout, there's a certain practice that I have, a kriya. And so I allow that to keep me balanced, and I still leave room for flow. I think that's important, not to be so structured that um, there's no room for like all the juiciness and the magic and the
Mhm.
miracles of the day. But for the most part, my morning is solid. So I know what I'm going to do in the morning. And then I leave room for play and fun and stuff like that. But if I'm getting all my nutrients in the morning, my spirulina, my chlorella, my sea moss, my herbs, I'm
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. Yeah, I mean, getting up, being global people, to attune yourself to the sun versus the clock
Mm,
is huge because, Sa and I moved to Bali. I just spent 5.5 months in Bali, as you
I
know.
love that. I was like, I'm going. I was trying to decide where I wanted to go for my birthday. Bali was one of the places, so I'm still just.
So maybe, yeah. Okay, so we're definitely going to Bali in December. We're going to be in Nepal, November and December, but then mid-December we're going to Bali.
Look at life.
Okay, so we're global people, we're global citizens. I remember while I was in Bali, you were talking about coming to Bali.
Yes.
Did you end up going to Bali?
No, I did not. I'm
Not
planning
yet.
on going very soon. It's like I have to do that this year. I was thinking my birthday. We'll see.
Okay, so Sa and I bought a house there.
That is so cool. I love that. I love that. I love the way that sounds, the way it rolls off the tongue. It's
It worked out. We're not rich people. We're not from rich families. It's God's grace, and it worked out in such a way where the opportunity was there, and we were able to make it exactly what it needed to be for it to work on our end, and it happened.
oh my God.
But it's a custom house, so it's under construction.
I love that.
And it'll be done this fall. So we're going to be going back to like open it and check it out and furnish it.
Very cute. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, so
Congratulations.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about, you gave us those really good travel tips. I heard them as travel tips. You, as high level as you are in your field, telling me what you do, I was like afraid that your travel tips were going to be so big I couldn't meet them. It was a little bit obnoxious that you take an entire apothecary with you everywhere. It's a little bit more than, but I see it as a
Well,
goal.
you know how I do it? Now, here's the tip.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear it.
Powders, right? Powders are easier to travel with. So I have a vacuum seal machine, very simple, get for $100-something, and I carry it with me so that I can vacuum seal them back up, but I usually vacuum seal them. Some things
So you have like a travel vacuum sealer then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have one like my mom's is like this thing on the counter. It's like.
Well, no, you can it's like this big, and it's you can travel with it, but yeah,
you just put it in like a carry-on or in your luggage.
Yeah. I travel with like so much, a blender, a juicer, like my knives, like my equipment. Like I have a suitcase just for like food stuff, and then I have a suitcase for my clothes.
Okay.
And then I have a carry-on for all of my altar stuff, like my sages and all of those other things, like singing bowl that's in the carry-on.
Okay, so with your clothes, how are you? Are you like an organized luggage person?
I love to be. Now, does it get hairy every now and again? Yes. Okay. But I love to have my everything organized. I like to know where everything is. I want to see it pretty. I want to see it nice. And like I said, when you're moving fast, sometimes you have to throw everything in and go to that airport before you miss your flight. So I've had those moments. But for the most part, I like to be prepared and like have it all set up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. See, that's really interesting because I think like my mind automatically went to what's the least I can do? How do I make it mega easy? And so I was like, oh my God, vacuum sealer, are you on crack? And then when you started to talk about like a vacuum sealer and your knives and you have food stuff, it started to like rearrange like the entire traveling paradigm. It's like if your nutrition is relevant to you on your travels, you will prioritize it. That's what you just said to me. You were like, that's what I got from you just now.
And for me, I know that when I'm traveling, especially if I'm in the air for long periods of time with that stale air and all of that, and just your immune system can naturally go down. It's just you're breathing in all kinds of stuff. You just have to be careful. So yeah, I need my juicer. I need my herbs. I need my Vitamix, because like sometimes you go places they don't have a high speed blender. I need to be able to my things, you know. So yeah, I have.
You are literally immortal. Is that correct?
We all are.
Okay, well, I just mean to say, like, it definitely shows you're radiant, you're very, very youthful. You're very, very, very young energetically. Yeah,
Thank
you have a very, very
you.
solid auric field. You're very vibrant. So okay, so I want to get some tips. I'm here with the master. What are like the top takeaways that you can give, like, as a transmission? I really appreciated some of the tips you gave around traveling. One was waking up with the sun. Another one was maintaining some kind of morning sadhana. Another one was just now about actually taking the time to really prepare what you'll need, you know, to take with you. You know, the idea of bringing a blender traveling, like, literally sounds like a joke to me. You know, sounds like there's a lot of people that would think I'm, like, literally not serious at all if I said that to them, you know. But I'm realizing who I'm talking to, you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't get this way if you don't make the moves. You know, you don't get to the top if you don't make the moves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I've always been that way. You know, whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it. And you have to have your things, you know, like even just beyond nutrition as a chef, you know, to get the smoothness of a sauce, right? There's many ways you can do it. I mean, you don't need a blender. And I also prove to myself, because sometimes I go places, like I was just in Jamaica, and I said, you know what? I thought my friend had all the equipment down there. So I was like, I'm going to leave this in Miami, and then just because I'm going back to Miami. And she didn't have everything I needed. Right. And so I found myself grating a coconut to make coconut milk. Right. Right.
Wow.
Which is the old school way. You grate it and you add a little water to it. You squeeze it out. There's a whole process. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I do love a slow process too, like
Yeah.
the original old school. I love that. You know, sometimes I don't want to use the blender. Sometimes, you know, depending on the recipe, you want to pound you want to use the mortar and pestle. You want to use, you know, other tools to achieve the same thing, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
love
the
that.
balance.
I love that. And I love the way that I've seen some of the videos that you posted of the you know, productions that have been done of you actually plating or cooking. You know, you always plate very beautifully, very elegantly. It's like, I'm like, wow, I want to eat that. That I don't want to eat it because it's so beautiful, but also, like, can someone put that in front of me, please? And you put the flower petals on with chopsticks?
Yeah, they're like tweezers. They're chef tweezers.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it's very, very, it's truly an art, the
Thank
way that
you.
I see you approach it.
I appreciate that. You know, I am an artist, and at the core, beyond anything, like the art comes through the food, it comes through the dance, it comes through the singing, which I'm coming out with my affirmation meditation album, which I'm really
Yeah.
excited about. But it comes through all of the things that I love to do. Um, so
I
having
love
you
that.
say that is really, you know, it means a lot, because
And in the fashion, girl, your fashion is like, it's all part of it. There's like a whole scene happening. There's a whole, like I get it. Like, I fully get it. Like, you're clearly a divine incarnation. Like, you're some kind of, like, Mahadeva incarnation. Whatever's happening, like, I'm here. I get it. I see it. I'm here for it. your aura is like radiating off of you. So for sure, I'm here for all.
I mean, come on. Reflections.
Yeah, real recognize real once again. Okay, everyone's like they're literally just hitting on each other the whole time. It's just gushing, just like a total love fest. Okay, but look, because I'm with the master, I want to just like what is like the, let's get a channeling from the master. What's your like greatest tip or transmission or offering? Like I'm kind of hearing, I'm hearing just intuitively as I'm asking that, I want to hear more about your affirmation album and like where that's coming from in your heart and what's calling you into that.
Well, I'm so happy you even tied that in, because I was going to make the point, because you said, well, what's a tip, and I was thinking, well, the tip would be that we are impacting the food and really everything we touch, everything we come around. We're impacting it just as much as it is impacting us. So, in regards to food and tying in the affirmation meditation project, I wanted to level up the medicine, right? Because we already know that when you choose locally grown organic food as much as possible, you're going to be feeding your cells on another level. We're understanding that the food that we put in our body is what we become, right? And really what we ingest on any level, what we put into our minds, right? What we put into our hearts, we're creative beings. And so I would say that tip helps you to understand that we can transcend anything. Even though we want to choose the best foods, maybe we might not have the ability to at all times, right? And so we understand that we have this magic in our hands, in our bodies, and in our auric field, and it extends into everything that we can infuse, we can activate, we can affirm, we can put sound frequencies into not just our food, but anything. And there will be a response. The molecular structure in that food will begin to vibrate at the rate of your affirmation of that sound. And it's kind of an interesting thing, and I'm sure it's like it doesn't discriminate. So if you do it in a negative way, you're going to get a negative outcome, a negative manifestation. So we're choosing the higher frequency, deliberate creation, and that's where the affirmations come in, deliberately creating your reality by speaking them into existence. And as we're speaking them, feeling them into existence, you know what I mean? And knowing that, wow, okay, well, we have water, we have our food, we can take our manifestation to another level and speak what we're wanting to manifest into the food that we're going to eat, and allow that food to go into our bodies and process and activate the manifestation to another level, right? And so all that to say is that remembering that we are magical, powerful, amazing beings, and we have the power to transform anything in an instant when we know how to do it. You know what I mean? When we are in the right frequency and energy, we can shift everything, and with food and all of that. So just remembering that we have the impact, and there's a communication happening with everything we're doing. So put forward this love and plant those beautiful seeds and in everything, and you're going to get such a wonderful harvest back.
Yes, I love that. Oh, thank you. Oh, and she made it a food agriculture metaphor. Oh, she did not. She did not just go there. Wow. Well, yeah, that's really beautiful, and I can't wait to hear your affirmation album. I love when there's someone I can really trust giving me something like that as a guide, because of course we can write our own affirmations, of course we can curate them. Sometimes we miss our own blind spots to where we're saying that we need something, but we're not always really like listening to like guidance from wisdom from like our friends. or from the spirit or from intuition. Sometimes we sort of like assert our will or our perceived will over like what's really wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so even when we're practicing and we're praying and we're doing all of our things, it's really nice. I always recommend, don't always just do a memorized prayer. Don't always repeat the same thing. Be there in the present and like speak, let it flow through you. Yes, and it's like making love the exact same way every single time. It's like, no, thank you. That's like not it.
That's the thing about it, and this is what I'm learning. If we must go here, is that being present in those moments makes them juicier across the board, but especially in making love. I feel like for me, I know me, and I can be nervous and shy, which is opposite from what people think of me because we see this like, but I'm like, oh, I'm so shy. But being present with my breath, being present with what I feel, what is coming up, with why am I uncomfortable, and allowing, if I'm safe with my partner, allowing um, myself to express that and to be supported, and to there's a, like I, you know lovemaking is such a powerful healing experience if you allow it to be. The
Yeah.
unpacking and the packing and the and the things. So you're right, and just being present across the board with everything is the key, as you know, master.
Well, you really express it in everything, and it's like the Buddha taught mindful eating, mindful walking, body scan, uh, awareness, open mindfulness meditation, and mindful eating being one of them. He taught it with a raisin, and it's like the art of life has all these different facets, like you were talking about using like the mortar and pestle in the preparation of your meals, and like sometimes choosing to go at the old school way. It's an art. There's craft and art in it, and there are in all the different ways, and I see your presence. They say like how you do anything is how you do everything. There's like presence. It's deliberate. It's chosen. Nothing's just thrown together in here. No last minute decisions. There might be some like quick decisions, but they're not impetuous quick. They're like masterful quick.
Well, I've learned the art of that from the latter.
Yeah.
It's just growing and expanding as an entrepreneur, as a creative, and learning myself and seeing where I need more support. Where I am strong and masterful, and even in that mastery, where I can sharpen. Where I can elevate, and yeah, I I think that's why we're here, just to understand ourselves more, to learn ourselves, to see ourselves. Sometimes we're so consumed with observing others that we forget to observe ourselves.
Yeah.
Like you said, scan.
Yeah.
When I do a consultation with clients, I tell them first, after we open up with the prayers, to just scan your body and take a couple deep breaths. How do you feel? What's coming up for you? Is there any pain? Is there any discomfort? Is there any joy? What's showing up in your physical body in the moment?
Right.
You know what I mean? What is crying out? What's been crying out for a while? You know what I mean? What's happening? Because a lot of times we're going so fast in this rat race that we don't take the moment to just be still, and to meditate, which is why you're so essential, is because if more people could understand that simply sitting down or laying down, being still, and just breathing can change your entire world. Like if they understood that,
Oh yeah.
wow, You
It's
know,
a real thing. It's a real thing.
it really is. I mean, I've been meditating since I was 16, since I became conscious. I learned about it. I'm like, oh wow. I mean, maybe even before that without knowing, but
Right.
deliberately, and what it's done for my life, coming from Washington, DC, the murder capital, from extreme circumstances to where I am only happened through changing my mind, you
Right.
know, changing my heart, shifting my energy, not just reading books, but applying the knowledge, testing it out, messing up. I tell people when I go in my kitchen, it's a place where I don't make mistakes. There is no mistakes that can be made. We're learning. I'm tinkering. I'm playing. I'm a scientist. You know what I mean? And I feel like even with life, I used to be so hung up and so upset when I mess up. And now I lean into my mess ups because
Yeah.
I'm learning. I used to really beat myself up like, gosh, Lauren, you're so stupid. Why did you? And then I had to say, like you said, no,
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you're not stupid. You're learning.
Right. It's exactly, there's the beginner's mind where uh, the beginner consciousness knows that it's a beginner. And the beginner's mind is the open mind. And within that open mind, so much good stuff can go down that you didn't even think of.
That's
You,
right. 1,000,000%.
yeah, so much good stuff.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite space to be in because that's where the miracles are.
Mm-hmm.
You're just listening to your intuiting, right? And so it's a good, for me, it's a good way to sharpen, or really observe how sharp my intuition is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
By just listening and flowing, and in the flow, oh my God, ooh, this happening, this happening.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know but it doesn't happen without that that beginner's mind, like you said, that consciousness that's willing to learn, that's a sponge. It's like, wow, what's that over there? When you think you know everything, and you get to this level where I am like, I am, you know whatever,
Imagine.
yeah, then you end up hurting yourself because you've stopped growing. you,
You
you
miss it. You miss all the really gnarly, weird stuff.
I
That's where
know.
it's good. The exotic stuff, the things that are truly foreign. You know,
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
you miss the real. And I tell you, like, for anyone who hears this that hasn't, visited other cultures or spent time in other cultures, eating their foods, partaking of their medicines, hearing their songs, like you are missing something. You're
Hmm.
missing out on something very, very, very special and important.
You're absolutely right. And when I think about myself, people ask me where I'm from, and I'm like, I'm from the earth, I'm from the universe. And I feel like everyone needs to realize that we're not just bound by, oh, I'm from Mississippi. No, honey, the whole earth is your oyster. You can go anywhere. There's so much to learn, so many places to go, and people to meet, and food to taste. Like we can explore it all, you know?
Okay, so guys, you have to follow the Queen of Green. You have to follow Lauren Vanderpool on all the platforms, because everything we're talking about here is actually your real life, Lauren. Like you are a global person. I'm always seeing you experiment and luxuriate and celebrate and explore, and it inspires me. And I also do my fair share of those things.
Yeah.
And and
Buying houses with your partner, darling, from here to everywhere. Oh, darling, oh, I'm in Bali. Oh, I'm in California in the mountains, darling. It's lovely. I love
okay,
it.
the place in California has epic views of the ocean. We can see the South Bay and the North Bay of LA.
Oh my God.
Like the ocean view from the mountains is incredible. Oh yeah, that's a tangent because you were making fun of me for being so fabulous. So anyway, what I really want to just tell everyone to do is like follow Lauren, because
Thank you.
as we get to know you as like you share yourself vulnerably with your audience. That's a super easy topic for me, super easy word to say and all that. Just kidding. But as you share more intimately about your life, we learn how powerful you are, all that you've overcome, all that you've manifested, all that you are, all that you, it's just so good. You know, your whole thing is very aspirational. And I really want to encourage people to support everything that you're up to, everything you're doing. You have, I did something with you. I did your Eat Yourself Sexy.
Yeah, the 21-day Eat Yourself Sexy journey. Oh, people are still talking about you, Ben. They love you.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for coming on and teaching that and guiding everyone in meditation.
yeah, that was amazing. And you know what? I just want to recommend that everyone follow you. What are all the different places they can follow you? Because you do occasionally have events and retreats and offerings, and
Absolutely.
we need to soak it up. She's, guys, this is, if this is your first time hearing of Lauren Vanderpool, what an honor it is for me to be the person introducing this global icon to your consciousness. Because this person, like, make way for the queen, roll out the red carpet. This is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my God.
History will recognize this person as a force to be reckoned with. This is what divine feminine wisdom and global leadership looks like. Literally, take notes. Take notes. Where can we find you?
First of all, you're gonna make me cry. Thank you so much. You mentioned vulnerability, and you know, um, a lot of people don't really know that I'm like really more quiet than how I present, and I'm really way more shy than I present, right? And so, um, uh, but I lean into the uncomfortability of it, and it is in the joy and all of the stuff, like you said, the gnarly cool stuff that comes along with our growth. And I just appreciate you for acknowledging me in this way, and for supporting me and for loving me and for seeing me even initially, because um, sometimes people can see you more than you can see yourself. And um, and I just feel really honored to be here with you, because I think you're incredible. I really do. I think you're such a beautiful light, and I can't wait to hug you soon. And just thank you for having me on your podcast, and for doing the work that you're doing in the world. It's valuable, necessary.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with that exact, all those words about you. So, I mean, thank you so much for everything that you're up to and everything that you're saying. I really am so grateful for your presence in my life. And I really mean what I say when I say that I really see all of those things. I see you stepping up these very beautiful golden steps of initiation into a literal global royal level. I see you calling that word in, and I see you wielding royalty with such dignity, with such spiritual dignity, such open-heartedness, such tenderness, such willingness to nurture, such willingness to serve. And it's what I see you doing, especially for the disadvantaged communities. I see you just transferring power to them. You have like just broken out of something and gone somewhere. You went to the top of the mountain and you came back with light. You came back with something from the mountain, and you are bringing it to everyone. You're going back to where you came from, and you are giving that light back. I really see that you are like really doing the work as a spiritual warrior. I see it.
Oh my God. Look who's calling me.
Stevie Wonder.
Hold on 1 second, okay? Okay, 1 second.
Okay, I'm going to end this now because you have to talk to Stevie Wonder, who just called you. Where can we find you, sweetheart? What's your Instagram is Queen of Green. Do you have an Eat Yourself Sexy journey coming up? We have another 21-day journey.
21-day journey starts on the 14th of July. Sorry, I'm like catching my bearings. This is such an interesting, this is what happens when you connect with friends and just have such a beautiful synergy. The 21-day Eat Yourself Sexy journey starts on the 12th of July.
Yeah.
And I hope that all of you would join. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Really
Yes.
looking forward to having you all on board. And again, Ben, thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Thank you. I'm going to get that Eat Yourself
grateful.
Sexy link. I'm going to get that info and put it on here. And we're going to release it in time so people can have a chance to actually join, because I remember hearing about it. I remember reading what people were saying. And I love what you do. And 21 days with you is like, yes, please, let's do it.
Thank you, Ben.
We have to do this again soon.
Please. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you made me cry.
I love you. You made me
Love
cry.
you too.
Mwah.
Thank you.